Hello guys, this is Mythos and welcome back to another Minecraft concept, of course. Today we've got a little bit of a cool one that was actually a lot simpler than I thought it would be, but it is quite cool nonetheless. So it's actually from a bucket plugin that was posted on Reddit a couple of days ago. I decided to make it in vanilla Minecraft, and that is exactly what I did. So let's take a look at exactly what this concept does. We have this nice lush green area over here, and let's just run across it here. You see I'm kind of getting these flame particles and this wither skull is spawning. That's a bit of a bug that we can't actually control right now. So if we keep just letting that go and we stand in a 1 block radius of it, that's perfectly fine. The wither blocks, the wither skulls actually are stationary, so they should be invisible, but there is that initial period where they are not, and you will see that there is actually hundreds of entities spawning right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stand here and spawn one here. So they will all despawn over a little bit of time, but for now we're just going to stand in this 1 block radius of the wither skull and let it do what it does. So this will take a little bit of time, but the effects are pretty cool. I've been testing this for a little bit, and hopefully it still works. Okay, so I just stopped recording there because it took about 3 minutes to do, but you will see that the grass that's in front of me actually turned into coarse dirt. So what is this concept I've actually come up with? Well, I've come up with a kind of method for beaten tracks. So what are beaten tracks if you're not from this part of the world where that's what you refer to them as? Well, sections of the world that are traveled, or sections of like a grass area that are traveled a lot, get beaten and trampled until the grass actually dies and fades away. So what I've done is just a little system that you run across. It spawns the wither skulls, and if a wither skull is walked over, I think I have it set to 500 times. It takes 10,000 ticks for these wither skulls to despawn, but if I walk over 500 times in that period, or someone else does, or even just stays near them for 500 ticks, so about a 40th, no, not even, a very small fraction of the time it takes to despawn, but you have to stay in a 1 by 1 radius. So if the wither skull is here, you have to stay within, let's just get another block, here, 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 or here, of the actual wither skull, and it will change. So if I just stand over it, and we take a look here, we are actually within range. So this wither skull should eventually turn this patch of grass into coarse dirt. And I'm just going to let it play through this time to purely demonstrate what it's doing. This is actually quite resource intensive because every tick that you are standing on a grass block, it is spawning a fresh wither skull. So it does eventually spawn thousands and thousands of entities. But there you go, it just turned it into coarse dirt. And it didn't actually take that long, considering while you're walking, you spawn it and you're still within range even here, and you keep going. So while you're here all the way over to here, you're still working on this, and then someone comes along, if they walk past that again, while they're here all the way to here, they're in range of that. So it just really depends on how many people travel across and how long they spend in that area. So if you're standing still on a grass block, it will change. But if you're not, it won't, of course. So that's basically this whole concept in a nutshell. It's just for beaten tracks. I could have done it with the regular dirt and the grass would eventually spread back there, but that's not really how these things work. Once the grass is gone, it's gone. So let's take a look at the command blocks, shall we? These are all the command blocks it took. These 6, which is actually a lot less than I thought it would be. I thought you'd need 20 or 30, but let's see what they do anyway. So we got this one here, which is detecting a player, and execute detect a player standing on top of grass, and if that's successful, it summons a wither skull right where the player standing with no velocity in any direction, a 0 explosion power, a custom name, because if you leave a wither skull with no velocity in any direction and unnamed, it will actually despawn within a matter of seconds. So I just named it Don't Look and gave it the custom name Visible False, so it doesn't actually show up. Next of all, we got this one here, which sets the wither skull, the most recently spawned wither skull, to a despawn score of 10,000. So 10,000 ticks, and this will despawn. And that is because in this one here, we have kill an entity wither skull with a score despawn of 0. So that is a kill it with a maximum score of 0. So if it's under 0, it will just kill the wither skull. And then we move on to this one here. This one states that execute anything add the wither skull in a radius of 1 of whatever's standing beside it. So actually, if I had this grass block here, and we spawn a wither skull on that, and then we throw this here, that should technically still be affecting that wither skull, and it should eventually change because it's affecting everything, entities, mobs, everything. So eventually it will change, but we're not going to wait for that because that's pointless. But then this is our last one here. This goes execute at a wither skull with a score walked on minimum 500. So you can change that for more or less. So we could change it to 15, which is what I originally had it to, but that was way too quick. And then once it hits that, it sets the block below the wither skull to dirt with a data value of 1, which is the new coarse dirt. So let's see, if we change this to 5, let's just change it to 5 and walk across this, spawning the wither skull, you'll see that it spawns almost instantly. And then if we change it to 15, it's going to be a lot slower, of course, but it's still going to spawn pretty quickly. We just stay within range of the wither skull. There we go, changed. Cool. It's not getting rid of that wither skull for whatever reason. Oops. Oh, I know why that is. Because down here at our very last command block, we have a kill entity type wither skull with a minimum score walked on of 500. So let's change that to 5. And now this one should be dead. Yep, cool. Okay, so that's basically this whole concept in a nutshell. It's just a pretty cool way to make these beaten tracks when people walk over large areas multiple times. It just turns the grass in the area to dirt and kind of makes paths in a random formation because it will follow the exact way they go, or if they jump or anything, it's going to skip over blocks. So it's pretty cool, it's pretty neat, and I hope you guys enjoyed. So I'll see you next time, and take care. Remember to follow me on Twitter as well, I post pretty much everything there. So, bye bye.